These long dog days of summer, I mean, we just made it through a heat wave. Mama was parched through this heat wave. I was hitting up Dunkin' every single day, and I will continue to probably for the rest of my days, but especially this summer. Dunkin' is helping everyone stay cool this summer with its lineup of refreshers. These drinks are packed with bold, fruity flavors and served ice cold. It's amazing. Dunkin' refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. I like to start my morning with them personally, and then sometimes I go back for a second one because I'm just feeling crazy. They come in a variety of delicious flavors, including fan favorites mango pineapple and strawberry dragon fruit. And then for a limited time, there's black cherry and there's pink pineapple. I'm going to tell you something right now, and it's a bold claim, let me tell you, but I stand behind it. Pink pineapple will change your life. It is so good. It has me feeling like I'm sitting in a pool, resort side, just living, honey. It's so yummy. Try your favorite flavor with green tea, sparkling water, lemonade, or Dunkin's all-new limeade. I haven't tried the limeade yet, but I'm going to. Usually I get my drinks made with green tea and occasionally lemonade, but I do really like the green tea. Or if you don't want to build your own, try one of Dunkin's curated refreshers like the Cherry Lime Ricky or the Ultimate Pink Daydream. The Cherry Lime Ricky, scrumptious. I could drink like 3 of these a day. They're so freaking yummy. Head to Dunkin' today and find your favorite refresher. Dunkin' refreshers contain less than 1% fruit juice. Limited time offer.
1 second, you're enjoying your day off. The next, your phone buzzes. A window's been broken at home. You're miles away. In 1 second, everything can change. That's why ADT's professionally installed security systems monitor your home 24/7. They're backed by the most company-operated monitoring centers in the industry, so you're always supported during an emergency. When every second counts, count on ADT. Visit ADT.com to learn more.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
Like my back it up.
Oh, I was wondering what that was. I was doing like a remix kind of sound, and then you just went. Burr, 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 burr.
Mine was like a half remix, half back it up.
Do you do that at the club?
I do. I do when I go to the club. So
when I go to the club,
you know what? That's the perfect beginning to this episode because this is like the John Mulaney for show case.
It is. We're redoing it. We're spicing it up.
So we're going to be redoing the Tyler Hadley case. And we're going to do it a little differently than I did like the Los Feliz murder house case. Mm-hmm. That one I just kind of like redid completely. You know, nothing from the old episode really came into the new one.
It was a fresh track.
Totally fresh track. Well, this one's going to be, I've added a ton of information because let me tell you, I looked at my old research and I was like, good job, you. Except you missed a lot of things. Like when I did research this time, I was like, I found a lot more stuff.
Well, you get better at it. It's like we're vets now.
Well, now it's actually been kind of fun to see like the growth in research, like knowing how to research properly now. Like, you know what I mean? Like to get as many things as you can and like find these little fun details or like not fun details that you want to put in.
Yeah.
And it's the things that you missed the first time around. So when you go back over it, it's kind of fun to be like, oh shit, look at that.
A little gemstone.
It's a little hidden treasure. So I'm going to basically do it completely over because I think I can tell the story a little better. But because there was so many good parts of the original episode,
you cannot get rid of the fuss show.
The fuss show. We can't get rid of that.
Never in a million years.
I thought it would be kind of fun that I will just splice in the audio from the old episode. I'm going to tell you when it's coming, so you're not just going to be like,
it's not just going to be like, boom,
underwater. No, I'm going to be like, hey, and here's the part from the old episode. So you can kind of see, like, how different how it's evolved, which I think it'll be kind of fun. So let's do it.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I am.
So we're
Ready?
talking
Okay.
about the Tyler Hadley case. This is the case, if you remember correctly, of the asshole who killed his parents
Yup.
and then had a house party with their bodies still in the house.
With like shit stacked all over them.
Oh yeah, don't worry, we'll get to that. So we're going to talk about the two victims first, his parents, Blake and Mary Jo Hadley. They moved to St. Port Lucie, Florida, over 20 years before the incident. They wanted to be close to Blake's retired parents, and they were. They lived right around the corner from them.
Oh.
The whole family was like very close, as we'll see, like the grandparents and the parents, big, happy family.
Okay.
Blake grew up in Florida his whole life. He was called a gentle giant because he was like over 6 feet and like 300 pounds. He was like a big dude.
Love it.
He was called a gentle giant who never had any unkind word to say to anyone.
Stop.
And that is like in every source I saw. Everyone who knew him was like,
So,
he
like-
literally had not a bad bone in his body.
Heart of gold.
People said he was just always smiling, always happy. He loved his family. In fact, most people said the one thing that he was really bad at was disciplining his kids.
Because he like probably didn't want
He
to.
said he literally wasn't good at it because he couldn't discipline his like he couldn't get mad and like be stern.
Yeah, you just like loved them too much.
Yeah, so he ended up not being the discipline. And they said that's literally the only thing that Mary Jo and Blake would ever even get slightly aggravated at each other about, because Mary Jo ended up having to be like kind
She's
of the
like,
sterner one.
Good cop, bad cop.
But even that, they said neither one of them were very good at it. Like they were both too sweet and like loved their kids so much that they had trouble disciplining them. So, but yeah, so these are the kind of people we're talking about. Tyler's friends actually all said he was a big goofball. They all loved him. They thought he was great. They said he constantly sang at random times. Like he would just
funny.
randomly start being like, yeah, like just start singing, which I do all the time.
Yeah, I do that too.
So I feel that. And he also was a big movie quoter. So he would just like
that's
come up.
us.
Yeah, he'd just come up behind them and like quote the Terminator movie or something like out of
Why
nowhere.
is her hair so big?
Which I think everybody knew a dad like that growing up.
Yes.
Like a goofball dad that was just like always making jokes and like being a weirdo. And you were like, that dad's awesome.
Yeah.
He was that dad. So Blake ended up becoming a watch engineer at St. Lucie's nuclear power plant for 30 plus years.
Wow.
Yeah. He was 54 at the time of this incident. 47-year-old Mary Jo was born in Braddock, Pennsylvania, but her family moved to Fort Lauderdale when she was in high school. This is where she met Blake, in Fort
Love
Lauderdale.
that.
She was very well liked her whole life, considered the popular girl in high school, but was also described as like the really kind popular girl.
Right.
Like that rare breed.
Yeah.
She was just like Blake. People who worked with her later said she was also hilarious. They said she had a very quick, very dry sense of humor. When they met each other, they fell in love right away.
I love love.
People said it was their constant smiles, their sense of humor, that just made them like the perfect match. Even though everyone said they looked so different because he was like this huge guy and she's like this tiny little thing. Like
Yeah.
it just looked so funny, but they just matched perfectly. When they got married, he wore a powder blue suit.
Yes.
Right?
Get it.
Right? And the families were really cool with each other too. Later after the murders, Maurice Hadley, Blake's father, said Mary Jo was the best daughter-in-law he could have ever imagined.
Oh, break my heart. Why
so
don't
these
you?
families like truly loved each other. When they built their home in St. Lucie, they joined the Catholic Church there and they attended for 25 years. They took their kids to church every Sunday. They were both altar boys. The Mary Jo would do like readings at church. They were very into it. Not like they weren't like strict about it, but the only thing they were strict about was those boys went to church every Sunday.
Okay. That's
Which-
like pretty normal
I
for
was
a
gonna
lot of
say,
families.
I think it's like a pretty good, if that's what you believe in, like why not?
a lot of my friends, like I remember, like we would not hang out on Sunday mornings
Yeah.
because they'd be at church.
I mean, it's good to instill, if that's what you believe in, you know, whatever you believe in, I think it's good to instill like a
Values.
sense of like, and it's like a routine. It's like a responsibility almost. Like every Sunday, you know, you have to do this. I think it's like a good lesson
Yeah.
to teach people, you know. I might not be religious, but I get it.
Yeah, I understand it to
You know?
a degree.
She was an elementary school teacher, and a friend of Tyler's who had also been Mary Jo's student teacher said no matter who you were, even if she didn't like you, she would never give up on you.
Oh,
Oh. And everyone who worked with her said she was just an amazing teacher, amazing person. So these two were just angels on earth, which...
I was just looking at pictures of them while you were describing
they're so
them.
sweet looking.
The guy reminds me of Papa.
He does, right?
Papa,
yeah. He really does. And ready to like shatter.
No.
With their love.
I'm not.
Mary Jo had the same email for like decades, and it was the first email she made when they first got together. The email, and it was still her email the day she was murdered. Her email was ILBH412 for I love Blake Hadley. And then their anniversary.
Shut the fuck up.
That's how cute they are.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Ruined me.
And together they had 2 sons, Ryan and Tyler. They were 23 and 17 years old when this occurred. They were by all accounts a very loving family, very normal. Like I said, went to church every Sunday.
Yeah.
You know, nothing crazy. Tyler, however, was troubled. He had fallen in pretty quickly with a bad drug and alcohol pattern as a teen, so he was butting heads with his parents.
Right.
But this all kind of came out of, you know, he was born December 16th, 1993, and he was born premature. Mm-hmm. So I think the drug and alcohol thing, like him leaning into that later, had to do with the fact that he had a lot of health issues and like mental health issues right from the jump.
Okay.
So that I won't, like, you know, that just kind of happened. It just kind of went hand in hand. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, obviously, plenty of people do that and don't do what he did. So, but he was born premature, weighing only 3 pounds and 10 ounces.
Wow, that's a tiny little bead.
Yeah, he had to stay in the NICU, you know, that NICU situation for like a whole month. Doctors had to induce labor a month early for his mom because she had a very difficult pregnancy with him.
Oh no.
So like right off the jump, he's going through it.
Yeah.
Now, family members said he was very sweet. A lot of them said he was very sweet, very polite, but they said he was very withdrawn. Mm-hmm. And he was like very strange, but they couldn't put their finger on it.
Okay.
They also said he had a lot of bouts of depression, a lot of anxiety. He also had eating issues. Right from the jump, he was very obsessed with his weight.
Huh.
Which a lot of his family were like, I just had not seen that with like a young boy as much. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It seems more rare, maybe because it's not as publicized. Mm-hmm. But he was very obsessed with like being fat. He didn't want to be fat, quote unquote.
Huh.
And I think like one of his doctors had said when he was younger that he was sturdy.
Yeah.
That's how he described it, which is not like
That's not fat.
an insult, but he took it as like, I'm too big.
Oh.
And he got like obsessed with it. So he did have eating disorders. He was like bulimic for a while.
Wow.
He had he had like thyroid issues. He had like a lot
that's
going on as he was growing up.
Yeah.
This is a paid ad by BetterHelp. I happen to be somebody that struggles with people pleasing. So a lot of times I will build things up and up and up and up and up and then kind of get to the point where I'm like, I need to let this out to this person. Even in 2026, that stigma and just stigma in general can get in the way of a lot of things, like getting support for your mental health. Maybe you've encouraged friends to consider therapy while avoiding taking that first step yourself because you're busy. You're worried about what other people might think or telling yourself that you should handle this all alone. But therapy with BetterHelp, the world's largest online therapy platform, can be a space to slow down and talk through what's been building before it feels unmanageable. Just take a short questionnaire to identify your needs and preferences, and BetterHelp will handle the initial therapist matching work for you. Their industry-leading match rate means BetterHelp typically gets it right the first time. Feel confident knowing BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully qualified. Don't let hesitation hold you back. Find support with BetterHelp. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/morbid. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/morbid. Every good detective needs a partner to support them on important cases. Think of a State Farm agent like your sidekick, there to help you along the way in your search for coverage. State Farm can help you choose the coverage you need, whether it's for your home, car, boat, or even RV. With so many options, it's nice knowing you have help finding what fits for you so you can get back to solving all of life's bigger cases. Go to statefarm.com or use the award-winning app to connect with a local agent and get a quote. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Now, he had a lot of self-esteem issues, obviously, as a result of all this, and they leaked into everything he did. He never played any sport for too long or did any activity for too long because he would suddenly just decide, I suck at this.
Oh.
I'm not good at this. And he was like painfully shy.
Oh.
So yeah, he had a rough go.
tough
at it, I will
time.
say that. As a kid and adolescent, he really kept going through a ton of health issues, a lot of mental health issues that were being treated with counseling and medication. He was not being ignored. He was not being neglected.
Right.
In fact, his parents did everything they could.
They don't seem like the type of
No.
people that would just like be like, okay, like,
yeah,
go
like
away.
deal with it, whatever.
Right.
No, and his mother in particular was like, I think just because I imagine like going through that kind of traumatic pregnancy and birth is going to attach you to that baby a little more, like, because you're going to feel like
Absolutely.
you need to protect him, you know. And I think she felt that way.
Yeah.
Because she would get very upset when like people would like tease him when he was younger, or she just like, she wanted to do everything she could to make him feel like he was, you know, tough, and that she just seemed like she really doted on him.
She's a mama bear.
She was being, yeah, like a real mama bear. And weirdly enough, they were very close. Like,
I
people
know.
said that they were very affectionate, not in a weird way, but like a mom and son way.
They had a
like,
good bond.
Yeah, like he would like sit on her lap when he was even like a little older and like give her hugs.
Yeah.
They said even weeks before this that like somebody noticed that he was like sitting next to her on the couch and he just kind of like leaned over on her.
Oh,
which
that,
is
like,
like
breaks
a
your
small
heart when you know it's coming.
because it's like such a small show of affection, like your mom, you know, or like you're somebody you love, or like who takes care of you. You just like lean into them sometimes when you need a moment.
Yeah.
It just, and then it's like to think what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially, you said a couple weeks before the incident.
Yeah. So, and it's, when you find out what happens and when you find out like what the quote unquote motive was, you're like, something big is off here.
Well, I think it's
Like,
the mental health
There's a
aspect
lot of
everything.
mental health stuff going on here because his reasoning is just out of this world. But then there's also a huge aspect of just callousness and evil here too.
Yeah.
So it really is like a mashup of this. Now, it was around when he was like 12 or 13 that he really started getting into trouble. So he did it real early.
I was going to say that.
Was
That's like when it kind of happens, I feel
know.
like.
12, 13 is like that, like, I'm going to become a shit.
Yeah,
time.
it's when you become a teenager.
Yeah. So he was vandalizing cars and property. He was stealing things. He was lighting fires, breaking windows, just being a dick.
Yeah, I never did any of that.
Yeah. He also really liked that lighting fires thing. He liked to light fires and then watch like an entire like lot of trees burn.
Yeah, that'll tell you something.
Yeah. And he was very young. He was actually this young, like 12, 13, 14, when he started using acid, pills, drinking hard. Yeah. Tyler was not popular in school, but he was not popular. He just kind of was there.
His group just kind of like wasn't.
Yeah, and he wasn't really well known at all. Like a lot of kids at this infamous party that happens didn't know him and couldn't even point him out, but they went to school with him.
Yeah.
So he was just a bit strange. He would play pranks a lot if you knew him, but then if you didn't know him, he was very quiet and very like withdrawn. He was also, everyone, including his own brother, called him a pathological liar.
Yikes.
So there's that. And at one point, Tyler and his friends legit lit the River Park Wildlife Preserve on fire.
Oh, shit.
They dragged a couch.
I forgot about this. Now that you're saying it, I'm like,
Right?
yeah, that happened.
That happened. They dragged a couch into a clearing, doused it with gasoline, and lit it on fire. And they got off with a warning.
In a wildlife preserve.
Yes. I mean, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's a wildlife preserve. What are you doing?
Yeah.
That bums me out.
I don't like
They
that.
got off with a warning. And then 10 weeks before this party that happened, Tyler was arrested on on a charge of aggravated battery.
Jesus.
He got into a fight at a friend's party, apparently. And because he had also previously been convicted of burglary, he was sentenced to a week at the county jail and 2 weeks of house arrest after that.
Damn.
And during this time, his mom took his cell phone,
Yeah.
which became a big
Yup.
source of contention.
I remember that.
Now, in June, Mary Jo actually had Tyler sectioned to a mental health facility.
Okay.
He came home insanely drunk, I guess, and he was under the age of 18 at the time, so they could do this. And basically, they said, and his brother said too, that they did this because they were afraid he was going to hurt himself.
Yeah.
He made a lot of very casual comments about suicide. He talked about it a lot. And I think it got to a head here, and they were worried. So, yeah, so they were worried about it. Now, he was treated there for depression, low self-esteem, and an eating disorder.
Okay.
2 weeks before the party, Mary Jo said that she was telling friends, like, things are going really well. This is 2 weeks before the party.
Things are getting better.
Tyler is really making progress. He was home. He still didn't have a cell phone. He was he was grounded, clearly. But co-workers of her said that, like, she was coming back to herself because she was, like, really in a dark place.
Yeah,
when all
it's
this
her
was going on.
child.
And they said, like, it really seemed like she was like, oh, I can breathe.
Well,
like,
and the thing is, too, I think even especially in a case like this where he's struggled with mental health literally his entire life, I think you get a little more hopeful from small gestures than you would in a case where, like, somebody didn't struggle as much as he did.
Oh, I would imagine.
So I think maybe she got a little too excited too quickly that he was doing better.
You see any progress and you're like, it's done.
And that's your child, so you're obviously looking on the bright side.
Yeah, I can't even
and being
imagine.
like, he's fixed, we're going
good.
well.
And I mean, it's good to look on, how she's just like, you know what?
Yeah.
He's making progress.
There's
Let's
nothing
go
wrong with it.
Well, the weekend before the party, Tyler, his dad, and his grandfather actually all went to a family reunion in Georgia.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And his grandfather said, quote, I didn't see any indication there were any problems between Tyler and his parents.
Which
and everyone
that's
said this.
Scary that he was just like, I didn't see any warning signs.
In fact, a night before the party, he went to dinner with his aunt and his whole family. And his aunt said he acted just fine. There was no indication that there was any tension between them.
That's scary.
Meanwhile, Tyler told someone later that at that dinner, all he could think about was that he wanted to murder his parents.
That's bananas.
But he was acting totally fine with them. Like, that is so dissociative.
It's sociopathic.
It is. So Tyler's friend Cameron actually ran into him that same night, the night before. And Tyler was like, yeah, I've just been to dinner with my family. And Cameron was like, oh, how is everyone? And Tyler was like, oh, they're good. And then Cameron was like, oh, it's my birthday. And Tyler said, oh, that's awesome. Come over to my house tomorrow night. I'm throwing a party.
Right.
So that night,
he knew.
He was like, I'm going to kill them. So I'm going to have a party tomorrow. Like, he was totally calmly, like, we just went to dinner.
Just the thought of, like, I'm going to kill them and have a party after. Yeah. Like, that whole mindset is just bonkers.
It becomes it's a central part of this, and it's just, that's his reasoning for this. Yeah. His reasoning was, I wanted to have a party.
It's a lot. But then it's like you think of a 17-year-old boy, that frontal lobe is not developed. No. And obviously we have drug and alcohol use and like crazy excess. Mental health issues. This is just like...
It's a perfect storm of
it's a
just
potion.
Mayhem.
Yeah, it's all bubbling in the cauldron.
It truly is. And one of the newer things I found out this time around while researching that I was like, well, shit.
What?
During this time that all this was going on, that the murders were occurring and such, the Hadleys were actually being sued. In St. Lucie County for $15,000. You want to know why?
Why?
Tyler hit a child with his dad's truck.
Oh.
Didn't kill the child, but injured a child, hitting them with his truck. And the family sued the Hadleys.
For, you said $15,000?
For $15,000.
Wow.
And it was in June 2010 that this happened. And the suit was filed in May of the next year, and he was scheduled to give a deposition about it in August.
Oh,
but obviously
shit.
he didn't have to.
Right.
Like, did any of that play into this?
I wonder.
Like, that kind of, the pressure that was going on there, made the financial strain. He was thinking he was going to have to give this deposition.
Right.
In his state.
And I wonder, too, if the parents were kind of saying, like, you know, like, you put that on us. Like,
yeah, I'm sure there was some tension.
I mean, if I was a fucking parent,
yeah, I'd be like, are you
my kid did that, I'd be
now?
talking about it.
So you just wonder if that was in his mind at all?
Yeah.
Because I didn't even know that was a thing before.
It's like I said, another thing to add to the
and obviously,
bubbling cauldron.
None of that is, like, justification. It's just I wonder I'm trying to figure out what's going through his brain a little bit.
I bet that adds to it.
It must add something to do. So... when this, weeks before the murders, he was planning this. It was weeks.
Clearly.
Yeah. He had planned them for a number of weeks, if not longer. So this was not just him snapping.
No, it was premeditated.
It wasn't drugs. It wasn't, this, just manic moment.
Altered state.
Yeah. He was entitled. He didn't want to live by his parents' rules anymore. And he's just a homicidal asshole in the end.
Yeah.
And he surrounded himself with some really dumb people as well, who kind of took his rhetoric that he was spewing to anyone that would listen as like a big joke.
Yikes.
When it's like, I don't understand. That's not a joke.
No,
like,
I can't imagine having one of my friends be like, yeah, I'm going to kill my parents. Come over. I'd be like, I'm going to go tell a counselor. Bye.
I'd be like, that's really weird. Like, that's weird to say.
It's like, this is the case too where he says that to somebody and the kid is like, don't fucking tell me that. That would be me.
He's like, yeah, I don't want anything to do
like,
with that.
Don't tell me that.
So let me, now is going to be the first time we are going to insert a piece of the old episode.
Oh, goodness.
Where we are going to
blub, blub, blub.
Retell from 10,000 Leagues Under the Sea. We will retell the conversation that Tyler had. It was an online conversation because his phone had been taken away between him and someone named Isadora. Mm-hmm. Now, get ready. Tyler messaged her and said, "Don't text me about drugs." So she wrote, "What happened?" Yikes. And he said, "My mom has it because I got arrested on Monday and she's flipping shit. I just got out today." She says, "Oh shit." Tyler Hadley says, "Fucking shit sucked."
In reference to jail.
Yeah. She says, "You bad, kid."
Goodbye.
And Tyler says, "Just kidding. It's a pirate's life for me." And she says, "LMAO." He responds, "I don't fucking associate with non-pirates."
What the fuck?
And she says, "What?" And he says, "Okay, I'm done with all the nautical nonsense." So she wrote a smiley face and said, "You're so silly. What are you doing?" And he says, "Nothing, considering suicide." And she says, "Why?" Tyler says, because I want to die, I guess." So he says, "What other reasons are there?" And she says, "Are you being serious?" He says, "Yes, I do want to die sometimes." And she says, "Don't die." Which
like,
is very
super duper helpful, girl.
Be silly when you're talking about this. And then she says, "Smoke a bowl whenever you're down." Tongue out face. And he says, "I used to, now I drink a lot when I'm depressed. It fills the emptiness inside me," in all capital letters.
Wow, he needed so much more counseling.
So she writes, "You're quite the character." And he says, "Yes, but all my smiles are fake."
And then she's like, "Dinner's
and
ready,
she's
bye."
Like, wink face, see you later. So that's just one conversation he had before this party. Clearly this kid
had fucking issues.
Shit was happening in his brain. Stuff was going down. He was pissed at his parents about the phone. He was feeling depressed.
He was clearly on drugs,
drinking a
too.
ton. He just told her, "Don't text me about drugs," so he was clearly on drugs.
More than pot, for sure.
So, a lot to unpack there.
Guys, you thought the bottom of the ocean was undiscovered? Think again. I was there.
You think we haven't seen like 98% of the world's oceans? We have.
Yeah, we stayed there for a while.
We have. We recorded from them.
Yeah.
What's down there? We are. We were.
It's us.
We were.
We emerged.
We came up. Went woo. But you know what? The information still stands.
There's that.
That was a Facebook conversation between himself and his friend Isadora.
Yes.
Where he is clearly telling people, "I'm pissed because I got my phone taken away." He's expressing suicidal thoughts. He's, talking about pirates. There's just a lot. Yo-ho and a bottle of something. So,
Rum.
Again, Tyler had been saying to everyone that he was going to have a rager. All of a sudden he's talking, "I'm going to throw a party, guys.
Project X.
I'm going to throw a shindig for the ages."
That's what you would say. I love that you're like, "Is what he," and I'm like, "Is what you would say."
That's what he was going around saying. But the problem with this was that he never threw parties.
Right, because his parents were home.
His parents were pretty strict, and they definitely weren't having ragers at their house for teenagers. So no one was believing this because they were like, "No, we don't even know who you are. This is weird." Now, I don't think that's necessarily just because he didn't throw parties often, you don't believe him that he's going to have a party.
Yeah.
There's a first time for it has to happen eventually.
It's very true.
I don't know. It was just very weird. He was also getting into a ton of trouble lately, obviously. Mm-hmm. He was having a lot of issues going on. So everyone knew that he was in no position to be like, "Hey, Mom, I'm going to have a rager at the house tonight."
So that was what was weird about it.
Yeah, so people were already like, "Okay, kid, whatever." But he kept telling people, he kept saying, and every time they would ask him about it, because they weren't believing him, but they were still like, "Are you having it? Can we come?" So he kept telling people, quote, I'm working on it, which is very ominous now.
Yeah, that's dark.
Very, very
Also,
ominous.
I bet all you high school listeners are going to think twice the next time someone that usually doesn't throw a party throws a party.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't go.
Think about it.
Don't go.
If you're listening right now, just double think that. That's all. Just think it over one more time. So we are going to, because there's a couple of like messages in a row, you're going to get another throwback
Yay.
of this conversation.
Back to the submarine for you.
Back we go. On Saturday, July 16th, 2011, at 11:25 a.m., he received a Facebook message from Antonio Ramirez. So Tyler responded, "Sup, bruh." I already want to throw punch this kid, by the way.
Sup, bro.
I already want to throw punch him. Antonio responded, "Chillin', what you doing tonight?" And he said, "Trying to have a party at my crib." Antonio, "Your parents aren't home?" Tyler, "Nope." "Well, they're leaving soon." Yeah.
This was before anything happened?
This is before anything happened. This is the day that it happens. So it was the morning of it happening, of him killing his parents, and he's like, "Yep, they're leaving soon."
That's so fucked up.
Now, that same day at 1:15 p.m., Tyler posted a message on his Facebook. He wrote, "Party at my crib tonight, ... maybe." So, LOL if I kill my parents. Okay, well, he's still saying, like, maybe. Like, he's still being a little...
Right, like...
a cagey dick about it. So everybody's like, is this happening or what?
Like, what the fuck are we doing tonight?
So around 8:15 p.m., nothing had happened yet. So then he posted another message at 8:15 p.m. "Party at my house, hit me up." Because he had already killed his parents at this point.
Oh, God.
Yes. Now, at this point, a friend named Ashley Hayes messaged him and said, "Whoa! What if your parents come home?"
Do you think she said whoa that enthusiastically?
She wrote it in all caps.
It took me a minute to calm down after that.
She wrote it in all caps.
You, like, started low and then came all the way up. You were
I
like,
did it like a snake.
Whoa!
I was like a serpent rising when, like, that, what is it, like the people who
Like
play
a snake charmer?
Yeah, the snake charmer and the cobra comes out.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
She fucking did. I
felt
wish this
it.
was visual sometimes. Other times, not so much.
Other time, like right now, not so much.
Don't look at me.
Don't look at me. No, she wrote it in all caps. That's how I read all caps. Whoa.
She was probably just like, whoa.
No, and I'm sure she was like, whoa, because all these kids are so dumb.
Stoned.
I just feel like they're like that. So she says, what if your parents come home? And he wrote, "They won't, trust me." Because he had killed them, guys. They're dead. Like, this is so stressful.
Also, why are you having a rager with your dead parents in the house?
Oh, cannot.
Can you imagine, like, from heaven, they were probably like,
Not only did my child murder me, but now I have to watch him and his dumbass friends
destroy my home.
my house.
Yeah.
God damn.
Oh, fuck that.
Oh, so this gets a lot. This gets to be a lot. So just hang tight, everybody.
I would have hit that house with lightning if I was in heaven.
Right?
Is that allowed?
Too. I would have pissed all over it and pretended it was rain.
I don't know if that's allowed.
I
think there's like a few...
I don't know. I think they give me like a pass on that
I
one.
think thunder and lightning would be like a loophole because it's like natural, but if piss started falling from the sky...
They have like one of the, like a card that you can use once.
Like a get out of jail free
just
card.
One use, and that's it forever. You can only use it once, so pick wisely.
But you can't...
That would be what I pick.
You can't pee that much. So I would want to do something even worse.
Maybe up wherever you are, you can just...
Like infinite
you
pee.
Can just infinitely piss.
Yo, the word piss is so nasty. Just...
So...
Anyways...
1 second, you're cleaning the gutters. The next, the fire alarm's blaring. Smoke billows out the window. In 1 second, everything can change. That's why ADT offers DIY security systems that let you monitor everything from the ADT Plus app. Their technology helps first responders find you in an emergency. So tackle your to-do list. Your home's protected. When every second counts, count on ADT. Visit ADT.com to learn more.
Hi, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. Are you looking for a beach read this summer? May I suggest your big wireless bill? It's got suspense, mystery, a slightly flat, emotional arc, and a shocking twist where you realize you've been overpaying the entire time. Fortunately, though, Mint's story is better. Every plan, $15 a month. Even unlimited. That's it. Happy ending. Zero tears. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
Yeah. That was a combo. Do you still feel the same way that if you could infinitely pee, you would?
Yes. If this happened to me, like this tragedy, and I had to watch my murderer, who is also my child, party and destroy my house.
Yeah, you'd pee all over
If
it.
I had the option to pee all over them from the heavens, I would do that.
I think I would still go lightning.
Yeah, very, very
Does more
frightening.
damage, I feel.
It does. That's very true.
Yeah.
Mine's more just like self-satisfactory. but
which makes sense.
but yours is a lot more property damage, which I appreciate.
Yours is a very Capricorn way to go about things, and mine is a very Gemini way to go about things.
Look at that.
Aw.
Oh, guys, it is fun to take a trip down memory lane.
Just listening to that recording, I feel like it doesn't even sound like us.
No, it doesn't. You can tell that we've become, I hope.
I know.
Maybe I'm just hearing this like totally differently, but I feel like we've become more confident with
I feel
speaking into a microphone at least.
I don't even think about it anymore,
No.
but I remember I used to be like, bleh.
So, these are terrible and fun all
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah.
The information is terrible. The delivery is pretty fun back then.
I agree.
Which I think is basically our motto. I should have said subject matter.
Yeah,
Subject matter, pretty terrible. Delivery,
Primo.
fun.
Fun.
All right, so let's get back into this terrible case.
Let's do it.
So at this point, Tyler is quite clearly already acting a fool.
Like a pirate.
Yeah, like
at least.
a complete fool. He was making mistakes and being obvious from the jump.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was pretty much telling everybody exactly what he was doing. So before the party began, he had actually gone to the ATM and taken out like $5,000 of his parents' money because he obviously took all their cards.
Right.
And he was flashing that shit around when he picked some people up to bring them back to the party. Like he was just being
Jesus.
very obvious about this. Now the party was off. There were tons of kids in this house. Most of them didn't even know Tyler, didn't really even know who he was. Like when they saw him, they were like, oh yeah, I've seen that kid at school. I guess that's him. They had no idea that they were even at Tyler Hadley's party. It was just like, here, show up at this address. There's a party there.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah. I seem to remember when we did this the first time, you were like, relatable.
Yeah, like a little bit.
I kind of
I mean, I feel like I always knew the parties that I was going to in high school. I feel like when you get into college, you just kind of
That's when things get a little hairy.
Yeah, you're just like, let me just go to that party over there.
You're like, oh, people are gathering? All right.
Cool, I'm there.
Here I am. Let's grab some beer and go.
Yeah.
Now, this is clearly different because these kids were not just hanging out and having a nice time. They were destroying the place.
Yeah, they were wildin'.
This I don't understand. Maybe I just had a totally different experience with going to parties my entire life, but like I never destroyed a place.
I've never destroyed any property.
I mean, there was cigarettes being put out on the rugs, on the furniture, on the
That's
walls.
just like a really dick
Just
move.
reckless abandon. Shit spilled everywhere. Glasses were shattering.
And
Kids
it's like,
were
guys,
just leaving it and laughing.
You know that I would hope that you're under the impression that his parents are alive.
Well, that's what shocks me. I'm like, so you were all thinking his parents were just going to come home. I suppose, though, that they were thinking, because as we'll see in a few minutes, he was telling people multiple different stories about where his parents were. They were on vacation.
But eventually they're coming back.
Eventually they're going to come home, but these kids are thinking, I don't have to deal with it. It's Tyler's problem.
Right.
Like, I don't even know this kid, so who gives a shit? It's just crazy to me.
It's wild.
It's just ridiculous. But I mean, I'm not sure why they took the party to like this level of demolition, but like
Go off.
they really went for it. And Tyler was a mess too. He was very anxious at times. He kept telling people not to smoke inside, but when things were getting a little too rowdy, he told everyone just to stay inside, and he was like, you can smoke inside, it's fine. Because he didn't want anyone calling the police outside.
Right.
But in the beginning, he was like, don't smoke inside, it's my parents' house.
Right.
And he actually said that to someone, and it's like,
He like forgot or something.
but he was wavering between actually saying, come on, this is my parents' house, to being like, I actually don't give a shit what you do here. So he
Yeah.
kept going back and forth between these things. And people said he was seeming very off. He would like gaze into the distance, wasn't really socializing, just walking around, drinking, just doing drugs here and there, but like acting very somber
Right.
for the craziness around him. Now, around 11:30 p.m., a guy named Mike Young came to the party with a bunch of his pals. Mm-hmm. He was like a popular kid, like a jock. He basically knew Tyler, like who he was, but he didn't know him.
Yeah.
You know, but he showed up and obviously it's like, oh, Mike Young is at the party.
That's also such like a jock name.
It is like Mike Young, the quarterback.
You have to be a quarterback.
Yep. Yeah, you have to. He said when Tyler opened the door, he said that Tyler was very clearly rolling. Like, he was like, it was clear as day.
Well, you can tell. His pupils were probably like this big.
Exactly, like saucers. And he said he immediately noticed that he was very anxious looking and he was acting strange. He was like very fidgety. He just seemed
Can you
off.
imagine, like, I mean, I can't imagine killing my parents, but imagine killing your parents and then doing Molly. Like, you're supposed to be in like a good headspace when you're doing that shit, or like.
I can't imagine you're in a good headspace after committing murder.
You'd be like tweaking.
I would think so. And he said, and he did say his pupils were like saucers. Yeah. And he said he kept rubbing his hands together and like clenching his hands into fists.
Because when you're on stuff like that, you like the way that certain things feel.
So you just keep rubbing your hands together.
Or like touching things.
And I think it's like that and the mixture of like he's just anxious as fuck. Because he knows what is in that house.
Yep.
So Mike said he went into the party and he said when he walked in, he immediately noticed just the complete just destruction of this house.
Disarray.
But he was like, and you know, you would think he'd be like, wow, this is terrible. I'm just going to leave. No,
of course not.
So he came in and he said he was sitting on the couch at one point, which this is interesting. He was just talking to some people and he said someone came over and was like, I smell dead people. And he was like, what is that supposed to mean?
And also, what was the child that said that?
Well, that he said it was just some guy.
Like, what's your deal, sir? Why do you know what that smells like?
You're like, okay, Sixth Sense.
I certainly don't know what that smells like.
I smell dead people.
Alaina at parties.
And I'm like, I smell dead people.
You're like, something is dead in here.
Something's dead in here and know it. But he was like, what's that supposed to mean? And the kid was like, I don't know. Maybe someone's smoking, and just walked away. But I guess that kid said that a couple times that night, or at least a couple of people said it during the night.
Call me crazy, but I think like dead people and like pot smoke or cigarette smoke might smell a little differently.
I mean, to my olfactory glands,
let's hear it.
They smell quite different.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah.
I can tell you. Mm-hmm. I've been around all three, so I can tell you. I 100% would be able to distinguish between those.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that kid was like, I 100% smell dead people, but my brain doesn't wrap around that fact because why would you even...
Yeah, why would you think that while you're like a teenager at a party?
I think a lot of people came into this party, saw how crazy it was. The place was a mess because it was like just Tyler in there at one point, so it's like just gross.
Yeah.
And I think people were like, oh, he's probably here while his parents are on vacation or something.
He's like
and
not
he's just
cleaning.
a gross kid and he's just dirty and nasty. So it probably just smells in here.
I would not want to be at a stinky party.
No, and it's like in Florida, in the Florida heat.
Right.
And this is in the summer.
Oh, man.
No. Mm-mm. No, thank you. So, yeah, so it's weird. And another kid randomly blurted out, oh, he killed his parents. And people were like, what the fuck?
I'd be like, maybe this isn't the party for us tonight. We're going to go to Jenny's down the street.
Well, like, and so apparently the kid just laughed and he was like, oh, I'm just kidding. That's weird to me on so many levels. That kids were making jokes about murder and dead bodies when in fact there was murder and dead bodies present.
Right.
Like...
That's fucked up. That's scary.
I've never been to a party, and again, I'm not saying all parties are like the parties I've been to. Never been to a party where someone was like, I'm pretty sure the host killed his parents, and that's why we're here. I'd be like, bye.
Yeah, no. I've been to a lot of parties in my day, and not once have I been like, hey, that host killed his parents, because I wouldn't be there.
Like, even as a joke, it's like, that's a weird joke.
It's not a joke. I don't think that's funny.
Strange. Now, and in my notes, I just realized that I wrote in all caps, on dogs.
Oh my God, I forgot about the on dogs.
Because what I meant was, there were dogs here.
Yeah.
There were dogs here. There were 2 dogs in the house who were scared shitless by this whole thing.
Can I spoiler alert really quick? Does one of them get locked in a closet?
It does, yeah. But both of them are fine. Both of them, like,
it's just mean.
Get out of here. But, like, shame on these assholes. There was a black lab named Sophie and an
Labs
old,
are my fave.
partially deaf and blind beagle.
Stop. Oh,
yeah.
Stop.
Sophie, the black lab, ended up cowering in the bathroom all night. And then at one point was locked in a closet by someone.
That is, like, I hope whoever locked Sophie in a closet
I want to kick
stubs
you in
their
the
toe
face.
every single day when they wake up and every single time before they go to bed.
Well, and then they found the beagle shaking underneath Tyler's brother's bed.
Oh my God.
His brother Ryan had moved to North Carolina with his, soon to be at one point his future wife. For college. And they're just all like and destroying this place.
Right.
Loud music being like ridiculous with these two little dogs. It just freaks me out.
No,
man.
it's horrible.
It freaks
it's so
me out.
mean.
It's really mean to do that to animals. So the beer pong table. The beer pong table is where a lot of weird shit happened.
Yes.
So obviously they had a beer
As
pong
always.
table. Or, I don't know if if it's a Massachusetts thing to call it Beirut.
I think you taught me that because I had never heard it called that.
I don't know if it's a Massachusetts thing. I don't know. You guys
It might be
tell
an
me.
old people thing.
Wow.
I had to get it in
We
there.
used to call it Beirut, so here we are. And so tons of kids are playing it in the kitchen, on the kitchen table. The beer pong table or Beirut table
pong table
was set up in a position that was right next to the family computer station. Remember when we all had a family computer station?
Yes.
Fun times.
Yup.
I had a family computer room.
Yeah, you
But I
did.
remember tons of my friends had family computer stations that were usually in the kitchen or in like a room off the kitchen.
Yeah, a
I
lot of
don't know
times they
why.
were. Ours, when I lived at my mother's house, it was in the living room.
Yeah, it's always like right in the middle of everything, which makes sense.
Yeah.
So this computer was being used simultaneously while they were playing the game because kids were playing songs on it throughout the night on YouTube because that's what we
That's
used to
the only
do.
place you used to be able to get music.
So funny. So Mike said he was trying to play some music, Mike Young. He said he was trying to play some music while playing Beirut or beer pong, and he was struck immediately with how disgusting the computer area was.
Ew.
He said the keyboard was sticky and covered in a brown liquid. He didn't know what it was. He knows now. Near the kitchen, and what we'll find out is we definitely know what that was because of where one of the victims was murdered.
Yeah.
Near the kitchen, the door to the master bedroom was closed and locked. And there was like a little hallway that led to that bedroom. And several kids tried to enter and found that they couldn't, but they all noticed a black smear about a foot long beneath the door. Like a black brownish kind of smear.
Yeah.
It looked like oil-based paint that someone had tried to wipe up, but they just smeared it everywhere. Yeah. And so, every time somebody would go near that door, Tyler would be like, get away from that door, get out of that hallway. I want people out of that hallway.
Jesus.
And everybody was like, what the fuck?
You'd
Like,
think that you'd like put something up in the hallway if you didn't want
you
people
would
to
think
walk
so,
down it.
But as we'll see, he did not do a good job of cleaning up or trying to take... It is astounding to me the amount of kids at this party who were like, oh, shit. Yeah, there is a bunch of blood spatter there.
Yeah, but like
they were
kids
all
are
just-
so fucking stupid.
None of them even noticed it. And when you look at crime scene photos of that kitchen and like they were right there, you're
Yeah.
like, how though? How did you not look down and go, that looks like blood?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was an idiot when I was younger. If I had been at that party, I would have left if people started talking about murdered parents. But I probably wouldn't have. I would have been like, oh, that's like soda.
That's
on the
what, and you
keyboard.
know what? That's what a lot of people said they did think it was. They thought it was spilled Coke or like something else.
That's what I would have assumed.
So throughout the night, everyone did keep asking where his parents were, and he kept avoiding the questions or giving those random
Lies.
answers. So Tyler had a friend there named Mark. They had known each other for like over 10 years, and he had already had some like weird moments with Tyler leading up to this. In fact, he said when Tyler was 10, he had a fight with his mom, and he told Mark that he was going to kill his parents at 10 years old.
It's a lot.
So that's already. And when so that night of the party, he asked Tyler where his parents were, and he told him they had gone to Georgia. Because remember, he has family there, so that's a probable.
Not crazy.
Tyler's friend Mikie wasn't at the party, and he was really good friends with him, but he was visiting his grandparents in Chicago at the time. That's why he couldn't come.
I bet he is so fucking relieved that he was in Chi-Town.
Exactly. And well, police did speak to him later because they were such good friends, and he told them that 2 nights before the party they had hung out. He said Tyler seemed pretty normal, but randomly, out of nowhere, he just blurted out that he wanted to kill his parents and have a big party after.
Okay.
That's not something you just randomly blurt out.
Certainly, I've never had a friend that said that to me.
Right? And he said, wouldn't it be weird to party with the bodies still in the house? And then he said to him, nobody's done that. I'd be like, dude.
Well, and it's like, what are you trying to, like, compete, or, like,
Well,
are you
that- I'm
trying to,
like-
like, make a name for yourself later on in, like, prison? Like, what?
Like, what's the purpose of this conversation, Brotato?
I'd be like, you should go now.
You need to leave.
I have won Fortnite, and it's time for you to leave.
I have one I am on the last level of Zelda, and I want you to leave.
Yeah, I Candy Crushed this shit. Get out of here.
Candy Crush. I love that you just brought in Candy Crush. That's the best. But yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yes, that's
and
weird,
that was
right?
only a couple nights before the party. So he was... I have never seen in a case... Hopefully you guys can't hear that like massive jet that's
Seriously.
flying over my house.
It's like,
whoa. I have never seen a case or a killer who has literally spent the weeks leading up to the murders not just hinting at people or trying to... but literally being
Straight
like,
up
hey,
telling them.
everybody... I'm literally going to murder my parents and throw a party. And having so many people go, I thought that was a joke. Like,
Yeah.
the collective, like, groupthink of, like, this is an okay joke to make over and over again is, like, very concerning here.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if this would fly now.
Lots of degenerates hanging out
Lots
together.
of degenerates. So I guess Mikie, which I understand, he just responded, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what else you would say in
Because he
that
was like,
situation.
I don't
He was like,
understand
I'm
what I'm
going to
supposed to
Chicago
say."
next weekend, and I think after that we might distance ourselves from each other.
Bye.
See ya, never.
Bye. So just to hammer this in, I have another Facebook chat that kind of shows you where his mind was leading up to this. It was from July 2nd, 2011, and it's a chat with his friend Mercedes. Mm-hmm. I'm going to use the original recording.
Back under the water.
Back at you with it.
It's the hose for you.
This is when they were talking about when
The house arrest.
The house arrest thing. He complained again that his mother had still taken his cell phone because that really pissed him off. How dare she?
Jesus. She probably paid for
And
it,
he
so.
said, quote to her, LOL, yep, she's a cunt for show. I might kill her.
Oh.
Do you think that's,
So
do you think
many
that's the
things.
inflection that he meant? For show.
I think it was more like, for show.
So you got it. For show. It's very like
Theatrical.
like so Broadway.
For show.
For show.
It's more like, she's a cunt for show. I'm not killer. Which is fucked
Ash
up.
says it. Ash, it is fucked up.
Like, I'm not laughing at that.
No, we're not laughing.
I'm just
at
laughing at the fact that he wrote for show.
that. And that I chose Broadway.
Read a
Ash
fucking
told-
book. Get an education.
Exactly. Like, I can pronounce Finnish words better than I can understand how these fucking kids talk
Literally.
in these messages. Like, I was trying to decipher these messages, and I was like, no, bring me back to the Lake Bonham murders, and I'll pronounce those words better. Like, because fascio is not something that should come out of my mouth.
You sound like John Mulaney.
I do? Oh my god, what a compliment.
You're welcome.
I love John Mulaney.
I do too.
So
Sponsor us?
us? John Mulaney?
For show. What if that was his response to sponsoring us? If John Mulaney called us tomorrow and we were like, will you sponsor us? And he was like, for show. I would die.
First, the fact that John Mulaney just, as an entity, would sponsor us too.
He's got money.
He would answer with fascio.
You sound just like him.
I love it. I love it so much. Woo! All right.
So he called his mom the C word, first of all, which, like, I reserve that word for, like,
for like Catherine
few
Knight.
amount of people, yeah.
You reserved it for Catherine Knight.
I sure did. She was a
did.
cunt.
She was. Well, so he said, LOL, she's a cunt. Fascio. I might kill her. So Mercedes, being
Signed
being
offline.
Mercedes, said, OMG, no jail! Or I mean prison, LOL.
Not like the
don't
mere
kill
fact.
your mother.
Yeah, of like, you shouldn't commit murder on your
Just,
mom.
You might go to jail. That's a bummer. OMG.
Fuck.
So he wrote, oh well, heart. Heart emoji. Or emoticon, excuse me, emoticon.
Woof.
So there was
She's
that.
like, I have such a crush on him.
And I was just like, oh my god.
Such a bad boy.
We just bonded.
He was
so
in
much.
jail.
Such a bad boy.
He might kill his mom for sure.
Fascio. Of course, I had to keep in the for show.
You cannot get rid of a for show.
You gotta keep the for show.
Now we just learned to get a little further from the microphone when we say it.
Yes, I'm gonna try to normalize the audio for you, so it doesn't blow your speakers out. Because woo boy, listening to those now, I'm like,
yikes.
All right, we thought that was good audio.
It was a choice.
It was a choice. You know, we worked with what we had.
Choices.
But thanks to our Patreons, we've been able to upgrade our equipment.
Yay!
So it's all thanks to you guys.
What
so
would we
appreciate
do without
it.
you?
So, you know, putting John Mulaney aside for a second.
Wah.
I mean, we never want to put John Mulaney aside.
Nobody puts John Mulaney in a corner.
Nobody does, but we'll put him over here for a second.
Yes.
So Tyler was giving people red flags left and right, like we said. When they added up, they looked terrible, but like separately when told to like kind of dumb kids.
It doesn't.
You know, yeah, they can be taken more lightly, I suppose, especially if this is his sense of humor, which from what I read in several sources, he had a sense of humor that was kind of dark, kind of macabre, and like he did like darker stuff. In fact, some of his family members were like clutching their pearls, upset about it. So
yikes.
This might not be weird coming from him. Yeah. I think this seems like normal. That might be why from the outside we're all like, what the hell are you taking that as a joke? This might have just been how he is.
Yeah.
So people weren't thinking this was any different from any other time. Mm-hmm. So by midnight, this party was in full swing.
Oh, hell yeah.
There was over 100 kids there at
pregame
one point.
Is over.
A lot of people said Tyler was doing the same thing I said before, just kind of hovering. He wasn't interacting with a lot of people, just drinking, observing. When he asked a friend, like randomly around midnight, he asked a friend and his girlfriend to bring him down the street to get more beer for the party because they were running low. His friend, who was 21 at the time, went in to get the beer, and Tyler stayed in the car with his girlfriend. Mm-hmm. While they waited, Tyler mentioned to her that his father had died.
Jesus.
And said it like that, like my father died.
And this was the friend's girlfriend?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the girlfriend was like, okay. And she just assumed it was like a normal, like, my dad died. Like, parents died. That happened. So she was like, I felt bad. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, that sucks. But he didn't really, like, he just kind of was like, yep. Yeah. And then she's like, later when she found out what happened, she was like horrified. She was like, he literally admitted it to me.
That's terrifying.
Like, what the hell? She was like, I barely knew this kid.
Right.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
So when they got back to the house, the kids at the party were playing water pong because they had run out of beer.
Yeah.
And you got to keep it going.
Obviously.
One kid who was interviewed later, but didn't want his name put anywhere. Because
don't blame him.
If you were at this party and acted this way, it's probably for the best that you do that like dark silhouette, distorted voice thing.
Yes,
yeah.
We are anonymous.
He said he immediately smelled something terrible when he first arrived at 1:15 a.m.
Yikes.
He said right when he entered the home, it smelled like moldy, wet clothing or something really horrible like that.
Ew.
And he also said he noticed too that it was just a mess and there was grime and some brown substance on all the tiles on the floor. There was broken glass and shit on the furniture and the walls. It looked like a disaster. It was getting worse and worse as the party went on. So this kid, who we will call George Glass.
Wow,
he decided to play beer pong Brady Bunch.
Oh.
Sorry,
yeah.
Wow. So, you're like, wow, you just made that up.
I thought you did.
It's Jen's, pretend boyfriend that she makes up, George Glass. So, yeah, okay. So he decided to play water pong. And in the middle of it, finally the beer came. They replenished the beer, so they started playing beer pong again. At one point while he was playing, the ball bounced onto the ground and just like rolled under the table. Normally this would not be weird.
Nope.
It didn't roll far, though, because it got stuck in some sticky brown shit that was all over the floor.
That was not Coca-Cola.
And he was like, gross, but he just washed the ball off in the sink and kept using it.
Ew.
They played beer pong with a ball covered in blood from a murder.
That's nasty.
That's a lot to grasp later.
It's a lot. You know that we never played beer pong with beer?
Really?
We always just filled the cups with water. Because it feels disgusting when that ball falls on the floor that many times to, like, drink the beer that the ball is going into.
Oh, we always played with beer.
We never did.
Wow, look at
we
that.
We never drank the water
look
from
at
the
that
cups.
difference.
Yeah.
That's weird. What's the point of playing?
You just win or you don't.
It's like, why would you even play?
You just win.
That's
or you
weird.
Don't. Yeah.
That's real weird.
Well, you do it, like, while you're drinking, so.
That's strange, though.
I don't know.
You're strange and unusual.
Same.
That's a really great podcast. You guys should
It
listen
is.
to the Strange and Unusual podcast with Allison Horrocks.
Yay! I was also going to
She's
say...
spooky and delightful.
She is spooky and delightful. I was also going to say that I liked Flip Cup a lot more than I liked beer pong.
Flip Cup stressed me out.
I believe that.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
So I liked beer pong because it's very, like, slow, strategic.
See, I don't like beer pong because I'm not a good toss.
I'm not a good tosser.
I'm not a good toss. I'm a good flipper.
I'm a good flipper, not a good tosser. Oh, now that we have figured that out, guys, thank you.
Who's a flipper? Who's a tosser?
I feel like we have, like, reverted back into, like, when we first recorded this.
Yeah.
It just feels right.
It does.
So Tyler had a weird conversation with a lot of people that evening, and he would basically tell them, you know, my parents aren't coming home. This is my house. This isn't even their house anymore.
Yeah, that's
They're
weird.
on vacation. They moved. They are at work. Like, he was getting weirder and weirder. And his 21-year-old friend, Mark, who had brought him to get the beer, he was leaving with his girlfriend, and he chatted with Tyler briefly at Tyler's request. Tyler was like, "Can you come outside and can I talk to you privately?" Mm-hmm. And he said, he was like, "I don't want anyone else to hear this." So they went outside, and there's a really great Rolling Stone article on this that, like, really goes into detail. And from that article, this is what went down. So Tyler said, "Dude, I did some things. I might go to prison. I might go away for life. I don't know, dude. I'm freaking out right now." I'd immediately be like,
Tell me nothing else.
"Stop right there.
Zip.
I'm
Zip.
out.
Zip.
I'm out. You gotta call authorities or something. I don't know."
Zip.
So Mark said, "What are you talking about?" And he said, "Dude, I know you're not gonna believe me. No one will believe me. I freaking killed somebody." And he said, "Dude, you killing somebody is your own business. Don't be telling me that sort of thing. I don't need to know." To which I say, same.
Hats
Mark.
off.
Same.
Also, though, Mark, what were you doing at this party?
Yeah.
Like, why were you there, Mark?
21-year-old.
Like a 17-year-old
He's
party?
that, like, token 21-year-old that's
And you know
always
what?
at the party.
There's always one.
There's always
I can
one.
think of exactly in my mind who that was.
Yeah, everybody can. The
Yep.
second we just said that, everyone listening
Zing.
just went, whoop.
Yep,
And they just got
that's
that
who that
picture
was.
of that person.
It's so true.
You might not remember their name.
But you know exactly what they look like.
You know what they were wearing when you saw them. You can tell the stupid jokes they made. You know it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Mark is that guy. I'm just
saying.
So Tyler went. So immediately Mark's like, "I don't need to just no.
Say
don't
no
be
more."
telling me that shit."
Yeah.
Which smart Mark.
Smart Mark.
Bye, smart Mark.
Make better choices.
Please do. So Tyler went back in the house and he ran into a guy named Ricardo. He was an 18-year-old and he had only met Tyler that night.
Iconic.
He just showed up at the party. So Ricardo was like, "Hey, thanks for having us over. Like, fun party."
So nice.
Like, and he said, "Thanks for the beer."
Yeah,
He was just
that's
being a
very
good
nice.
guy. Like, Ricardo, very polite.
Get it.
And Tyler responded, "I just wanted to do something fun before I left." And so Ricardo was like,
Where you going?
Innocently, he said, "Where are you going?" And he said, "I'm going to kill myself." Which is, like, not a standard first meet chat that you have with someone. So Ricardo was like, "Why would you do that?"
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to say. And he said, "'Cause I did something really bad." And so Ricardo said, "What'd you do? It can't be that bad."
Don't ask so
Which
many
I was
questions,
like,
Ricardo.
One question too many.
Yep.
You just go, "Okay, I'm going to call someone for you. Bye."
Yep.
So he said, "What'd you do? It can't be that bad." And Tyler said, "Don't worry. If I get caught, I'll be in jail a long time."
Oh, man.
So spooky and ominous.
I'd be like, we're going to get going.
I'd be like, "It's not Halloween. What is happening?"
Thanks again for that beer.
Is this dinner theater? I don't like it.
Yeah.
I just turned British at the end of the night.
It's okay.
Now, around 1 a.m., Tyler asked his best friend, or excuse me, It was closer to 2 a.m. I didn't mean 1 a.m. Tyler asked his best friend, Michael Mandel, to walk outside with him. And he was like, I got to talk to you. I think he asked him to like walk down the street towards like the stop sign at the end of the street.
Take a walk.
They had been best friends since they were 8 years old.
Oy.
So they were like tight. When they got outside, Tyler just blurted out to him, I killed my parents.
Ay.
Now, Michael knows his parents very well. He's his best friend. So he just went, yeah, right. Like, what? He was like, fuck off.
Don't say that to me.
And he said, Michael, I'm being real. I'm not lying to you. If you look closely enough, you can see signs.
Oh, that's nasty.
Which I hate that.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
This is when he pointed to the driveway and made reference to the fact that his parents' cars were both still parked in the driveway.
Oh, shit.
And Michael was like, oh shit, I
thought they got a rent-a-car.
I don't know why, I just didn't even think of that. So he was stunned, but obviously he was not wanting to believe this. So Tyler took him to the garage, where he showed him a bloody shoe print on the floor, and led him into the house to the master bedroom that had been shut and locked all night.
I forgot that he took him there.
Yes. Michael said there was clearly some old blood on the door, and he told him keep looking for the signs that everyone has missed.
No, thank you. I will leave now.
It's crazy. When you see crime scene photos, it's nuts that no one noticed this. There was blood spatter on the walls, the ceiling, the door. There was even pooled blood on the floor around the baseboards.
The fuck?
And it's like, these ones, I'm like, I don't know how anyone.
Blood splatter on the walls, I don't know what you chalk that up to.
Like, clearly spatter.
Right.
On the walls, on the ceiling. It's insane. So he opens the door. And Michael looks inside, and he said he noticed a mountain of stuff piled on top of each other. Dining room chairs, blood-soaked towels, magazines, photos, a lamp, household items all stacked in a huge pile. At the bottom of the pile, he sees a leg.
Oh my God.
So he told Michael everything. He said he did it that very afternoon. He said around 5 p.m., he hid both of his parents' cell phones.
That is fucked.
So they couldn't call for help.
Right.
Like,
to be that, like, mastermindful at 17 years old while killing your parents is... wow.
It's like, so if the 300 times he said he was going to kill his parents wasn't enough to make you realize that he was planning this, and it was definitely not a snapped or like
the cell phones
crime of passion, the fact that he hid their cell phones so they couldn't fucking call for help, should really drive that point home.
That's just evil.
So meticulous, so calculated.
Yeah, that's
like, that is that's premeditation right there. Mm-hmm. He said he hyped himself up by listening to the song Feel Lucky by rapper Lil Boozy.
Lil Boozy?
Lil Boozy.
I don't know Lil Boozy.
You don't know Lil Boozy?
I don't.
I don't either, but I figured you would.
I don't know Lil Boozy.
Hit us up if you know Lil Boozy. So, and he also took 3 ecstasy pills.
Whoa.
Right? That's what I said. I was like,
whoa.
I don't know if...
Well, and he was not a big kid at all.
I was like, I'm very vanilla here, but like 3 seems...
Let's just throw it out there. I've only ever taken 1 at a time.
It seems like that is a lot of ecstasy.
I feel like that could literally kill you. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of that, but I would die. I feel.
I feel very strongly that I would pass away.
I feel like I would be gone.
Yeah, I don't feel good about it.
Rip, sis.
So he was on 3 ecstasy pills at this time,
and then
to hype himself up.
That he did like so much stuff later, like ecstasy. It's not just like bye, like all done.
No. That's why, and maybe that's why he was acting so strange. And I think he kept going too. He was piling on other stuff. So I think he was just numbing it all out. And it was...
I'm honestly surprised that he did not die.
I am
Or at
too.
least like have a stroke or something.
Or something bad happen. Well, at this time, after he took the 3 ecstasy pills, he grabbed his father's claw hammer from the garage and walked into the house. He saw his mom on the computer in the kitchen doing some work. And he said he stood behind her for at least 5 minutes.
That's just weird.
Just staring at her.
That's terrifying.
And just thinking about what he was going to do.
And also, she didn't know that he was there for like 5 whole minutes.
I don't know. Maybe she must have thought that he was just like in the kitchen and like you're not even paying attention.
Right.
Then out of nowhere, he just slammed the claw hammer down on her head.
Thinking about that, even just thinking about that.
Horrific.
I just grabbed the back of my head without like...
This is one of those it's so brutal what he did You
and
can't.
to your parents.
To your parents who were good parents.
Right. Like gave you
Like,
everything you ever wanted.
These are parents who love. He said later that he knew that his parents loved him because I think he tells like an inmate later that like, because one inmate in particular, I think his name was like Tony. He really got a shit ton out of him and then told people later because he wasn't in prison forever. So he got out and told people. And he said that Tyler told him, I knew they loved me because my dad didn't go after me. He just asked me why. And then Tony told him, like, then why did you keep going? Like, if you realized suddenly that, like, they loved you, like, if that hit you all of a sudden, why would you keep going? And he's like, I had to finish once I started.
What the fuck?
Like, what the fuck? So that's the kind of mindset we're dealing with here. When she was hit in the head, Mary Jo screamed, why, Tyler? Why?
The fact that she knew that it was him, too.
And obviously his father, Blake, heard his wife scream, came running into the kitchen to help her, and Tyler said they looked each other dead in the eye, and his father just echoed his mother's question and said, why, Tyler? Like,
that's wild.
Because what else could you say? And you want to know what Tyler answered? Why the fuck not?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And he said he shouted it and kept repeating that question as he beat his father to death with the claw hammer. So he is screaming at him, why the fuck not, while he's doing this.
The way those poor people like exited this earth is so disturbing.
It's horrific.
Like it makes your stomach flip.
It's horrific. It's horrific. They were looking at their child, their youngest child, killing them.
Literally. And screaming, why the fuck not?
And in like a rage, like screaming, why the fuck not? It's just beyond my comprehension.
And it's so sad because they tried to get him the help that he needed.
This
is not one of those cases where it's like they ignored all the signs and they didn't give him any help and he didn't have counseling. Yep. They tried to do like everything for him.
They did everything they could for that kid. Everything they could. They were great parents and great people. And then you think about accounts. They deserved not even a cell of what happened.
No. And then you think about how he overpowered his father. I mean, his father was huge.
Well, and as we'll find out, because I'm going to go over a little bit of the autopsy, we find out that it took quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it's horrifying. It really is horrifying because
I forgot about how brutal this case was. I knew that it was really like rough, brutal. But
it's really brutal. Well, after he made sure that at least he believed that they were dead, he wrapped their heads in towels and dragged them both to the bedroom. Now, his father was, like I said, over 6 feet and like 300 pounds. He was a huge guy.
Yeah. Like, and Tyler's not that big.
And he somehow got him in there. He put them on the floor next to each other, face down, and put the claw hammer between them.
That's weird.
Yeah.
And the whole face down aspect of that means
and putting
something.
like the towels around their heads.
He didn't want to look at their faces.
Yeah. And then he said he went about cleaning up, which he did a piss poor job of.
Yeah, like why bother?
He said it took hours. Hours and hours. He threw everything he could that had any evidence on it in that bedroom on top of his parents. If you look at those crime scene photos, the kid cleaned out the house.
Literally.
And just threw it on top of it. It's insane.
It's scary.
It's a very scary behavior, this entire thing. So, I mean, they were like broken dishes, bloody towels, blood-spattered books, photos, an entire coffee table, shattered glass, mops, sponges, brooms, board games, anything he could find. He told Michael after, because remember, he's telling Michael this in the middle of the party, in case anybody forgot. He told Michael he started laughing when it was all over. He looked at himself in the mirror and laughed. Like woof.
I don't even know what to say about that.
But Michael didn't leave the party.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, he didn't. He stayed for a couple more hours. And in one interview I found, because he's been asked about this quite a bit, he said he wanted to stay and find out as much as he could, which I was like, okay. And he said, quote, even though you know he just killed 2 people, you don't see him as a killer, because he said he was his best friend since he was 8, which I've never had a good friend murder someone, so I can't relate to this. Maybe it would be a feeling that I can't tap into, like someone that you've known your whole life, like you can't wrap your brain around that.
Well, and then I don't know if I said this the first time around. I feel like I might have. He's your best friend, and you know that after this he's going to go away for a long time. So as fucked up as it is, Maybe he just wanted to spend all the time that he could with his friend before he went away.
It's funny that you say that, because you were like dead on.
Hey!
Because one of the things that Michael has had to answer for a lot was that he posed with Tyler for an infamous selfie in the garage. It was taken on Michael's cell phone, and they're standing next to each other with Tyler holding up like an orange Solo cup. They're both very like somber in the photo. He said he did it because he knew it would be the last time he ever saw his best friend.
Yeah.
So he said...
I must have remembered that somewhere in my brain.
He said he knew he was going to call the cops on him when he took this picture. So he was like, and he has said in many interviews, like, I know it's weird and I know people can't understand it, but like, I don't know. And I almost, it's like, he's like, I don't know how to explain it.
I kind of get it to a degree.
It's a weird... It's just, it's admittedly strange, for sure, when you're looking at, but like he said in the interview that this was his best friend since they were kids. It was hard to disassociate that immediately.
Yeah.
When even the proof didn't seem real, because he was like, I'm looking at it, I'm seeing it in front of my face, but it doesn't seem real.
Yeah. Well, and you're also probably pretty drunk at this point, like maybe on a drug or two.
Yeah. Apparently Michael didn't drink. He did do drugs, but he wasn't a drinker. Like, all of the friends said he literally never drank alcohol. Huh. Ever. Well, he did
must
do
have been
drugs, but on
something.
Yeah. So he said he thought he knew Tyler, but he said in that moment he realized, I didn't know my best friend at all.
No.
Like, which is another shocking feeling to feel.
Yeah.
Before Michael left, he actually told another kid at the party. He was like, hey, come here. And showed him the blood spatter. Didn't show him the actual crime scene, but like showed him the blood spatter outside the door. And that kid testified on the stand that he immediately said, he was like, nope, I'm leaving. Like as soon as Michael told him, he was like, I'm out.
We got a smart one here.
Yeah. And he was like, nope. And he was like, you should leave too, Mike. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, like
here?
We need to get the fuck out of here.
And he was like, nope, not going to do this. Now, word started going around the party now. And kids are hearing that some shit is going on in this. A few kids peeked in that bedroom and were looking at all the shit around the thing and being like, oh my God, it is blood. You know what Ash just said?
I didn't know if I should say it out loud or not.
Ash was like, she pointed at me and mouthed,
that would have been you.
It's fucked up. It's fucked up.
It's fucked up.
A curiosity for
Killed
sure.
That cat.
I mean, could we all get over this? This whole thing is so beyond the realm of comprehension.
Absolutely.
That I can't, but it's like all those other ones that were like, those old timey ones that are like, and then people just traipsed through the crime scene.
Right.
I'm like, I would have done that.
Yeah.
But in this scenario, I don't know.
Oh, I would have dipped the fuck out of there. Like
this scenario.
Like the Roadrunner.
Yeah. This scenario is just.
I would have Tasmanian deviled the fuck out of there. Like
this.
You wouldn't have even. I would. Bloop,
this gone. I think I would have dematerialized and just materialized somewhere else.
I would have learned the art of teleportation in that moment.
I would have just like burst into a bunch of different pieces and then just came together somewhere else.
Confettied yourself out of there.
Because this whole situation is just filthy.
Bleak.
It's filthy. It's grimy. It's gross. It's tragic beyond any realm of comprehension.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. I mean, I wouldn't even be here.
Also, not only would I have left, I would have literally ripped off my clothing and burned it.
Yes. Well, at 2 a.m., someone falsely announced out of nowhere that there was another party at another house. So everyone ran outside drunk and peeling their cars out and blasting their music. So a neighbor, Rayanne Wallace, called the cops because she said people were also like spilling onto her lawn.
Yeah, she's like, fuck you guys.
And she had also said she knew Tyler since he was born. She liked their family. She said Tyler was always very polite, very respectful, but she was like, this was bullshit. I didn't want to deal with this.
That.
I would have been Rayanne Wallace.
I like my upstairs neighbors, but when they get loud, I text the fuck out of them.
Hell yeah, like, it's quiet.
Shut up.
Shut up. So 2 officers from the Port St. Lucie Police Department actually came to the house, came to the door. Tyler told everyone to be quiet, told them to hide in his room, because it turned out that the party that was supposed to be happening, it wasn't a party, so everyone came raging back in.
Of course.
He'd had them all hide, and he opened the door for the cops, and the cop was like, there's noise complaints, and Tyler was like, oh my God, so sorry. Like, we'll quiet down. And they were like, okay, bye.
Not like, hey, you look a little underage there, my dude.
Like, the cops came to the house where the bodies are.
Yeah.
And the crime scene is. Didn't even bother to, like,
Not only that, but like this kid is answering the door like
it's 2 a.m.
Do you think he owns the place?
Like 2:30 a.m. He's opening the door and like there's beer cans all over the front lawn and like all the lights are off and everybody's like giggling in the background and you're not like, hey, we should check this out.
I feel like normally the first question is like, hi, do you own this property?
Yeah. I'd be like, what's happening here? Are you 5? How old are you?
Yeah, right.
So Mike did leave the party eventually.
Deuces.
But it was close to 4 a.m. when he left.
Also, wow, what a fucking rager.
These kids, there was like 16-year-olds stopping by at like 4 a.m. And I was like,
it's the most
where
wild...
are your parents?
That's
like
wild to me.
There's no way I could just be floating around town at 4 a.m. when I was 16.
My mom sucked as a mom and I was not out at 4 a.m.
No.
1 second, you're enjoying your day off. The next, your phone buzzes. A window's been broken at home. You're miles away. In 1 second, everything can change. That's why ADT's professionally installed security systems monitor your home 24/7. They're backed by the most company-operated monitoring centers in the industry, so you're always supported during an emergency. When every second counts, count on ADT. Visit ADT.com to learn more.
So 4 a.m. Mike left, and he said before he left, he actually hid 10 Percocet pills that Tyler had told him he was going to take to kill himself.
Oh, shit.
And he hid them in like a closet somewhere.
Yeah, good.
And he said Tyler immediately called him once he left, asking where he was.
Yeah.
So he was immediately like, what the hell is going on? So he was like, oh, I'm just, I'm going to sleep. I'm tired. It's 4:30 a.m. And so Tyler was like, cool, I'm having another party tomorrow. Do you want to come? And he was like, sure, I'll be there.
Oh.
And at 4:40 a.m., Tyler posted another Facebook message to his wall that said, party at my house again, hit me up. So he's just planning on like partying forever. Now, too bad for Tyler, Michael had called the Crime Stoppers hotline.
Yeah.
He told them everything, and the kid who he had told at the party and showed him all the stuff, the one that was like, buy him out, he also called Crime Stoppers when he had gotten home and told them everything. So officers Adrian Zamoyski?
Yeah, good.
Officer Zamoyski and Officer Charles Green were the ones to go to 371 Northeast Granger Avenue at 4:32 a.m.
Oh, shit.
As the officers went up the driveway, they heard someone talking inside the house, and they saw beer cans and bottles literally everywhere, all over the lawn and driveway. Officer Green saw Tyler through the window, and he was like pacing and talking to himself. And they said, quote, there was a, quote, very disturbing look on his face. And in the police report, they wrote, quote, his eyes were very wide and he was not blinking.
Yeah, I believe that.
I believe that.
He had 3 ecstasy at least in his system. I believe that.
Well, and they watched him as he would grab a stack of books from the bookshelf and then just bring them into the back bedroom.
That's terrifying.
So he was just kept burying them, which I feel like there's some psychological element to that.
There has to be.
There does have to be.
Because
right?
the burying is just so strange. If
constant burying.
Any psychologists are listening, or like maybe I might ask my therapist next week.
I know, right? Because now I'm thinking about it. Because I don't know why that didn't strike me before. As like, it's a behavior. That's a very particular like pathological thing to do. But it's like it has to be something that he's constantly burying them. I mean, it's a consistent. I have to keep burying them.
I don't know if it's as simple as like I have to get rid of them. They're not here if I bury them. Like,
or just something like, if I keep doing this, it's keeping the inevitable from happening.
Yeah.
Like from this being discovered, from me having to face it. If I keep burying it, it won't. Like I keep partying, I keep burying them, we'll never get to the end.
I don't know.
Maybe it's something like that. I don't know. But they said he was very frantic. They couldn't hear what he was saying. He was just like mumbling to himself. He repeated that like a few times. And then finally, Officer Green knocked on the front door and rang the bell. The lights immediately went out of the house.
Oh, shit. And at this point, is there anybody left?
No one was left at this point. They asked whether any adults were home because he did open the door. And they said he seemed frantic, incoherent, and very annoyed, and that his pupils were like saucers.
Gigantic.
So he just ran. As soon as they opened the door and they were like, are there any adults home? He was like, no. And then he said, I know I'm going to Rock Road, which is where the St. Lucie County Jail is.
All right.
And he said, so just take me.
They were probably like, well, we don't know what you've done
And they were
yet.
like, okay. So they handcuffed him.
What are we taking you on?
And they put him in the driveway and had one of the officers stay with him. And then they went to walk in the house and he started yelling, you can't go in there. Don't go in there.
That's so bizarre.
Like, he is fully, like, this is
I think he's also just like, not. He had so many mental health issues and then
so
with
many drugs.
the
that
drugs
night.
and alcohol on
Yeah.
top of it, his brain is just barely a brain.
Haywire.
Yeah.
I think it's just like mayhem in there.
It's like the episode of, I hate to even like make this like correlation, but the episode of SpongeBob where like in his brain he's trying to remember something and all these little mini SpongeBobs are just like running around trying to find the answer.
That's exactly what's happening.
That's what
here.
I'm picturing.
I think that's what it is.
I think so.
Well, obviously, when they went in, it was a disaster and disgusting. It had been ransacked, including his brother's room, which, like, real nice brother Tyler is.
Yeah, that's
just let
shitty.
everybody, like, destroy his brother's room. Locked in the closet, they found the black Labrador.
I would have been so
I
pissed
hate
as a
these
fucking
people.
police officer. I would have been so angry.
I would have been like, I'm throwing the book at you.
Literally.
So the cops passed through the kitchen and they went to the master bedroom. They found that it was locked and they noticed some streaks of blood and some spatter and on the baseboards. So they were like, oh, what's happening? So they forced it open and they found the bodies of Mary Jo and Blake Hadley. Now, the autopsy showed defense wounds for Mary Jo Hadley. She had them on her arms, wrists, and hands like she had tried to stop the hits.
So she must have
at
turned
some
around.
point. Mainly, there were injuries to her upper torso and head. Her spine was fractured.
Wow.
And they think that might have been like from hyperextending to try to get away.
Wow.
Yeah. She had 7 broken ribs. Her left lung had been punctured by the ribs. The report said there was 14 blows.
Jesus.
Yeah. And that the left side of her skull was, quote, pulverized.
I can only imagine.
She had a giant gash right across her face, and they also said her head had been crushed like an egg.
Oh my God.
Now, Blake's autopsy showed he was beaten very ruthlessly. I imagine it's because he was harder to get...
Take down.
To take down, basically, for lack of a better term. What he had, his injuries were... There's so many. I'm only going to give you a handful of them because there's so many. He had a broken nose, a laceration to his forehead, evidence that the round part of the hammer was also used on his temple area, lacerations inside his ear, a 13-centimeter long laceration from his ear to his head. His skull was also caved in, and his brain was lacerated in several areas. It was also completely encased in blood. 5 lacerations at the base of his skull, at least 12 blows to the head, long cut on his neck, bruising on his chest, and lacerations to his shoulders, 11 injuries to his right arm alone. Both of his humerus bones were broken. Elbows were lacerated, 12 injuries to his left arm. Both legs had bruises and cuts. His fibula of his left leg was shattered, and there were 10 blows to his legs. His report says multiple blunt force trauma injuries of skin, 65 in all. Soft tissue bruising, massive skull fractures, lacerations of right cerebral hemisphere and cerebellum, humeral fractures, left radius fracture, and left tibial fracture.
Wow.
So,
And that's a handful, by the way.
Was
Brutal.
a merciless and uncontrollable rage attack.
Exactly. Like,
Unbelievable.
What?
I can't even. So, the funeral service for the Hadleys was attended by nearly 1,000 people.
I can only imagine.
Again, they were wonderful people. Like, wonderful, wonderful people. The neighbor who actually called the cops, Rayanne, that night, she talked to Ryan at the service, the older brother.
Poor Ryan.
And he lost everybody. in
Everyone.
One scoop.
Yep.
And he mentioned that he was going to be going to St. Lucie County Prison in Fort Pierce that night to visit his brother after the service. And he said it would be the first time they'd seen each other since the murders. And what he said to her, he said, it's what my parents would want me to do. They wouldn't want me to abandon him. I don't know what I'm going to say. I'll probably just sit there and cry. What a fucking...
That's a huge person to be able to go and do
For
that.
you to sit there and say my parents wouldn't want me to abandon him.
Right.
What a guy.
Like
I don't
genuine.
even know. It's like these kind of people. It's like when we did the Daniel Morecombe case and you think about his parents and you're like, what?
Like,
what
how are
kind
you
of
just
people
so
are you?
amazing?
Those are the kind of people that like are able to think these rational thoughts in these situations. And actually, poor Ryan in that September of that year had to actually go file to make sure Tyler couldn't petition to inherit anything from his parents.
Oh my God.
Because, and also now, he is also in charge of everything, taking care of all the wills, the estate,
Which
everything.
is, I can't even imagine that stress.
All by himself, all at once, while dealing with the grief. And not only that, he is now the guardian of the murderer, who is now in prison.
He became his guardian?
He immediately became his guardian. It was like in the whole thing. So he's like, yeah, because Tyler was still a minor.
What the fuck?
Isn't that nuts?
I'd be like, no, that's too much for me. Put him up for adoption.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm good. Well, when news spread the morning after the murders about what happened, because this is a small community, this is what some of the absolute garbage piles had to say about it. Some of these kids that were there.
I forgot about this part.
So they mostly just blame the victims because, like, they're monsters. One girl said, quote, he was under a lot of pressure and, like, his parents would never let him be himself. And honestly, I think they just caused everything that just happened. His parents always expected him to be someone else that he wasn't, and that's not right. Anything Tyler would do, he'd be wrong for it. He just broke. Honestly, he got crazy because of it. If you have that much hate for somebody, then you actually would do something like that.
Okay.
Somebody arrest her because she literally just said if you make her mad enough, she will fucking kill you.
Like, yeah.
Like, that girl literally just said that.
That's exactly what she said.
Almost in those words.
Essentially.
Like, what?
The Cliff Notes say that.
She literally said, I think that they caused everything that just happened.
I hate teenagers.
How does your brain get there? I'm like, that's insane to me. So other kids blame drugs. Somebody said, we all make mistakes when we're on drugs.
Okay, like, you can make a mistake of, like saying the wrong thing or something like that, but, like, killing your parents isn't a mistake. It's, a catastrophe.
Yeah, like, it's like, mistakes are like, oh no, I didn't flip the pancake in time and it's burnt on one side.
Yep, that's a mistake.
That's a mistake.
Yeah.
Whoops. I hate when
I
do
overslept. That's a mistake.
But, like,
bludgeoning?
I don't often, like, get high and then after weeks of planning and bragging about my plan to murder my parents, bludgeon my parents to death with a claw hammer before throwing their bodies into a bedroom, piling furniture and other bloody items on top of them, and then throwing an almost 2-day rager in the home while they decompose.
That's not my kind of mistake.
I've never done that.
No. Can't say I have. Can't say I plan to.
Stupid.
That's
a stupid statement.
It's a very stupid statement, but you have to think of the kids making these statements.
Again, and teenagers. They're young. They don't think far enough into reality. This one, though, makes me want to, like, roundhouse kick her to the face.
I think you said that last time.
I
feel like I remember that.
I feel the exact same way.
I love when you say you want to roundhouse kick someone in the face.
And I'm not naming these people, so they don't know.
It's fine.
So this was a 16-year-old cheerleader that had attended the party, and she was the one who showed up at, like, 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, what?
Girl.
You're a child? But she said, I wasn't upset when I heard. I wasn't scared or disgusted. It's not like I knew him personally.
Yeah.
I'm glad you weren't upset when you heard. You know who was upset? Everybody who loved Blake and Mary Jo Hadley.
Exactly.
You fucking asshole.
Yeah, you suck. Oh, Alaina's gonna roundhouse kick you to the face.
I'm gonna roundhouse kick you to the face.
Buffy style. Is that why you say that?
No, but now it's how I say that. So, and then a last one of his friends said, wow, I just went to the party of a lifetime. It's messed up what he did, but 20 years from now, I'll be able to say I was there. I hate Port St. Lucie, but that's kind of cool.
I don't know if cool is the word that you were looking for.
Yikes.
I think you were looking for a different word.
Like, these kids were so focused on this party. I'm like, had none of these kids ever been to a party? Like, are you all okay?
Right. Like, there will be other parties and hopefully a lack of dead bodies at them.
Like, you guys just hung around in a grimy home with a murderer and drank, like, stale beer all night? Like, Chris Angel didn't show up and, like, do illusions for you. Like, it was a pretty normal party.
Yeah.
Like, a weird one at that. Like, it was a gross one at that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but they're all acting like it was like, what an experience. It's like, what did you do there?
I don't drugs.
It's very strange. So Tyler was sentenced to 2 life sentences without parole. On March 21st, 2014, he was resentenced in 2018 to the same sentence. Because they did do a resentencing because he was a minor. Remember that whole thing? They don't want minors to have that, that whole thing.
Yeah.
But he got the same one. Because the judge said, quote, "These attacks on his parents were very painful, both physically and emotionally. I say emotionally because they realized their own son was killing them."
Yeah.
Which, yes. Now, Blake's brother Michael said about this, quote, "I feel like I've been through another funeral, and I'm tired of these funerals. It's like the 3rd one with this case, so we're hoping that there's no appeal and that we don't have to do this ever again."
Ugh.
And luckily, they shouldn't have to do this again for another at least 25 years, because there's a statute that says in 25 years they can re-look at the case to resentence possibly, but whatever, he's not getting that.
And who knows exactly.
Now, a fellow inmate testified that Tyler claimed he'd begun to plan the murder and the party 3 weeks before it happened. And he said to this inmate, "You should have come to the party. It was awesome."
I don't know you.
He also calls himself, or he did call himself, Hambo and Hammer in prison. And yeah.
You can't give yourself a nickname.
And one inmate who was leaving said he wanted his autograph because he thought he could sell it later. And he signed a piece of paper for him that said, "I don't know if you're a fan, but you should be. It's hammer time. Tyler Hadley."
That's disgusting.
So he's really sorry about what he did.
That's disgusting.
He greets new inmates that come into the block by saying, "What's up, man? You know who I am? I'm Hammer Boy."
I think that he's just so mentally disturbed that he just can't even make sense of it.
Well, and I think he's living in school. He wasn't anybody.
Yeah.
People didn't even know Tyler Hadley existed.
Right.
They went to his party and didn't even know he existed, but in prison, he's Hammer Boy. It's so disturbing.
And it's sad too because what is the prison system doing for him? Are they trying to rehabilitate him?
I hope so. But apparently he's being kind of a dick in prison because he's been in trouble with homemade weapons. He has refused to go to disciplinary hearings. He's just a general dick, but he did get the shit kicked out of him in December 2011.
Did he?
Yeah, because apparently there's a thing where it's like a birthday cake that prisoners will make where they'll put a bunch of sticky buns and Twinkies and things that you can get from wherever. And they'll make an actual concierge, the commissary.
The concierge.
They have a concierge in prison. But they'll put them together to make a cake if someone's having a birthday. I read this in a thing. I didn't know it was a thing before that. But he said he would do it for some guy, and then instead he just ate all the things. And so this guy was pissed because it was his birthday.
Yeah, that's
shitty.
He
kicked the shit out of him, so he got in trouble.
Yeah.
So his brother Ryan did write a book called 1,000 Fireflies, and it's about him and getting through this and the aftermath.
Yeah. So
I just wanted to point that out, that you can go find it on Amazon or anything.
What's the meaning of the 1,000 Fireflies?
You have to read the book to find out.
I'm going to.
So
I'll let you guys know how it is.
And just to leave one little thing, I did find an interview from 2019 with him, and he was being interviewed by a neuropsychologist. And he said when asked if he was trying to reach out to family or if he felt like he should reach out to family, he said he stopped trying to reach out to any of his family because he said they don't want anything to do with him, and they've made that clear. When asked about this, he said he stopped because he figured if he kept pushing, they would call the institution and have him locked up in solitary or something. He never once said he doesn't think it's right for him to put them through that or anything like that. He basically just kept it on himself. He kept it well, I don't want them to put me in solitary.
Right.
It was never I did something terrible.
And I don't want to disturb them for the rest of their life.
I shouldn't keep reaching out if they're telling me not to, or I don't want to keep opening that wound that I made.
I don't think he's mature enough to see it like that.
But he's old enough now.
Oh, absolutely. But think of his brain.
Yeah, no, his brain is for sure. But I think that's just tells you where he is. That,
absolutely.
He still isn't thinking of any of this as his fault.
No, unfortunately, he's a very messed up individual.
Yeah, because he basically is well, they've made it clear that they don't want to talk to me. So me.
It's almost like that thing where sometimes people say when big triggering events happen in your life, you stay that age forever.
Yes, I've read that in so many things.
It's he's just 17 forever.
Because that's a very 17 8-year-old way to look at it.
Absolutely.
Now, I just wanted to mention one of the sources that I used for this is a book called See How Much You Love Me, and it's by Amber Hunt. It's really good, and it like tells the whole story. And then that Rolling Stone article that I'll post in the show notes. But yeah, this is the story of Tyler Hadley redone. So hopefully you think that it was worth it to redo.
I think it was.
I think it was an interesting trip down memory lane.
To say the least.
And a long one.
All right, guys. Well, you know where to find us, and we hope you keep listening.
And we hope you
keep
it
weird. But not to whether you throw a rager with your dead parents in the next bedroom, because that's just really fucked up, and like definitely feel bad about it.
Yeah, feel bad.
This episode is brought to you by SoFi, the all-in-one finance app. The sooner you start investing, the more potential you have to build your money, even for beginners. SoFi makes it simple with an easy-to-use app. To get you going, SoFi is offering up to $1,000 in stock when you open up and fund a SoFi self-directed brokerage account. Terms apply. Learn more at SoFi.com/SXM. Brokerage offered through SoFi Securities LLC. Member FINRA/SIPC.
Suffering from dry, tired, irritated eyes? Don't let dry eyes win. Use Systane Pro. It hydrates, restores, and protects dry eyes for up to 12 hours. Systane Pro. Triple action dry eye relief.